Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday and welcome into Zelda Speedruns. Today we're back for the Skyward Sword Randomizer Season 3 tournament. This is the winner's bracket round 2 match between the 5 seed YourAverageLink and the 4 seed Sledgen. Here on commentary with me is KitKat, and tracking today are Featherblade and Vibrant Viola. How are you, Kit?
I am great, thank you, Golden. Gonna watch this and commentate this epic matchup between these two really great runners. Got AverageLink, a kind of well-seasoned veteran, and then Sledgen, who I guess has been a bit of a dark horse during the qualifiers. Someone who definitely exceeded his own expectations in being the 4th seed, and honestly since then has done quite a few good performances already in the tournament. So I'm excited to commentate this game, and
Yeah, YourAverageLink was the winner, I think, of Season 2, which at this point is now like 2+ years ago. Sledge started playing about a year and a half ago, kind of in the lead up to Remlets, a little before then. So obviously different experience levels. Sledge has been playing a lot. Yal is a great any percent runner, Sledge more of a rando person, but has been doing a lot of speedrunning as well, which I think does help a little bit. So yeah, it'll be an interesting match. Any predictions on what dungeons we get?
I'm gonna predict we get like a mix of fast and slow. I'm gonna say Skyview, Ancient Cistern, and Fire Sanctuary. That's what I'm locking in for today.
I was gonna guess ET, LMF, and Cistern. Although it feels like we've not gotten a lot of LMF seeds, so
You haven't, I don't believe, in at least it feels like that, yeah.
Yeah. And the runners are about to get underway, so we are off. And where is our start? Oh.
Interesting start.
Yeah, you better go check if you have a scale.
Yeah. It's
Summit, Gorge, and Magma Turf dead.
I was 2 for 3 on the dungeons, just Sandship and Fire Sanctuary I got wrong.
Yeah, and with this start in Floria, oh, and they have a scale. Okay.
They do have a scale. Okay, good.
I was gonna say with this start in Lake Floria, you are gonna go check your other statue in Farron, but Yal, I don't think actually checked his items. Yeah,
he didn't.
He checked his B wheel. So while Sledge is going in backwards, this is fully in logic at this point, and oh my, that is the Ruby tablet.
This is the Ruby tablet. Wow.
Which is, I think, fair to say the most powerful tablet to get.
I would say so. Yeah, most like Sphere Zero locations, or I guess I mean locations you can get without any items and as such. Yeah, I mean to be fair to Yal, the odds of scale being your like first item is pretty low, so he's probably thinking it's like earrings or something. I mean he knows now it's scale, but yeah. Sledgen's gonna get a little bit rewarded for checking that early and staying behind.
Yeah, I mean Yal will go back, but you know, depending on what we get, I mean,
hits.
Okay. So Sledgen is probably not even going to go to Skyloft. Like, I think he's just going to go straight. Wow. And Spiral Charge. Yeah, like, Sledge is just going to go straight to Elden. He's got the Elden starter pack. He can clear, 15 of 17 checks?
Quite a few, yeah. I guess under the beetle ones.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few that are not in logic without a slingshot or a bow, but yeah, Sledge is going to be able to get those. You know, it's not going to put him, like, hugely ahead of Yal at this point, because Yal is going to get those, but, like, if he gets some things that help him clear Skyloft more efficiently, I think he's going to be happy about that.
I think that I don't think it puts Sledgen at a massive lead, because, as you say, Yal is probably going to do those checks eventually without like too much backtracking. Amber Tablet there as well, and Beetle. Wow. But I think that Sledgen he's now got a bit of a head start for Tenthless to Farronwood. Interesting. He's now kind of got a bit of a head start for a lot of the more like check dense areas like Elden. which might pay off for him if he goes there early and finds something. But it looks like he's going to Ancient Cistern right now, which makes a lot of sense. There's a lot he can do. There's a lot he can do right now in Cistern.
And it's pretty quick.
Yeah, very quick.
And looks like the only chest that is pinging is the one he can get. I didn't see any pings in the basement, so...
I didn't either.
You know, if he's really lucky, he's going to be able to kind of logic out that he maybe doesn't have to go... If there's a key on the Bokoblin, that would be something he can actually figure out very quickly, very early. Which is also nice. Like... Sledge also rounding in some money, which I think is an underrated important thing to do in these settings.
Yeah.
You got a wallet, which is nice, but money helps as well. You really don't want to get on a seed where you have to do any rupee grinding.
Yeah, very much so.
Having played a couple of those, it's hell.
Yeah, I can agree with you. I've had I think at least one by now where it's been money grinding, and I wouldn't exactly say I enjoyed it. So if you can get money earlier, that's the Mogmit's okay then.
Oh, wow.
Rather insane, I will say.
Yeah, Sledge is not going to get that. I think. Okay, I'm trying to think about. He doesn't have either small key, so I think something in the basement had to ping. Because there's just not enough checks if it didn't.
Maybe.
Or no, the Bokoblin could have a small key, and the
that's right. Yeah.
Could be the boss key.
That is right. Yeah.
Yeah. This I think has to be a small key. So,
yeah.
Because, at this point, it is. I think because none of the chests had anything, it's guaranteed that the Bokoblin has the second small key, and the rupee has the boss key.
Also, Yao buying Tim. It's great sight to behold.
Yeah. So the 800 rupee item is a bow with sand chip. That's interesting.
That is very interesting.
You hope that is not your first logical bow.
You do very much need. And it looks like Yao save scummed Tim, so he does no longer have Tim, which is rather sad.
I think the 600 item was nothing.
It was a red rupee, yeah, it was nothing.
Yeah, so that's, save scumming is a smart move here.
Oh, it's absolutely smart. It's just,
it's sad because we love him.
We just love Tim. Yeah, that's
yeah.
Smart, I get it. But...
Unfortunately, Firework and Robo, as a tournament organizer, I cannot agree with that sentiment, although I understand why.
There's a sword on the first 100, which now it makes sense why he safe scummed that away.
Yep. That sword is definitely valuable. The first sword is probably the most valuable. I couldn't see what was on the ledge by the floor.
I couldn't either.
It looked like it might have been something useful, though.
I feel like it might have been, yes. It makes sense for how Sledgen is staying here. The Tentless to Farronwood's hint. I think he probably just wanted to clear up a bit more Farron. I think he knows he can't do a particularly huge amount here, but he's already in the Farron region, so in his mind, I don't think it hurts to check a few things.
To peek. I can't tell what was there.
Looked like something kind of white-ish, I think.
Yeah, maybe it was a metal.
Maybe.
Fire Shield earrings are on 1,000. Okay. That is probably telling you, with Volcano Summit dead, that's at least an interesting hint to have, because it means the earrings could just be completely unrequired.
Could be, yeah.
Okay, there's the hint for the item. Sledge peaked. He's probably laughing.
Yeah, gotta love that when you do something and then 5 seconds later Hinson says, "Hey, this is a thing," and you already kind of knew that.
And Sledge is gonna be happy with more wallets. He does have enough money to kind of clear out almost everything useful in Beetle's shop.
Pretty much, yeah.
Although, I will say, logically, that bow is in logic. So, because he's got digging mitts, he has access to Thrill Digger. No, maybe not. Thrill Digger might not be in logic yet. Well, with the slingshot it is. So
yes, with the slingshot, yeah.
Yeah. I assume Sledge is going to do a sky loop before he goes to Eldin, but it would not surprise me if he actually goes to Eldin before Skyloft here.
I was gonna say I really like the colors on Sledge's and I think the color of the bird works really nicely with that color of the tunic. Almost kind of reminds me of like Splatoon colors where they're kind of nice and bright, and it really works well, I feel, with the art style. So I just want to point that out.
Yeah, and both Spiral Charge rocks have something, so Sledge is gonna get those with his sky loop too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Yal's been. I mean, Sledgen's been finding quite a few items in the Farian region, which has been kind of cool. I mean, Yal's also been finding like a beetle and other things as well. So I think both runners have been finding quite a few items here and there. So at least in the item department, I'd say they're still relatively even.
Yeah, 10 gratitude crystals is nice to have for sure for Yal, and yeah, not surprised he's warping to start. Was that Gust Bellows in Neighbor's Trial? I think it was.
I think it was unhinted, possibly required.
I think it was hinted required.
Hold on. I need to.
I don't know.
We'll see. we'll see if that is that's something we need. At the very least, it has something on the trial. So
yeah, I'm like now going to Sledge's stream to see if I can pull up the VOD, because
that's quite an interesting one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I had caught it, but
yeah. I just barely caught it, and I wasn't able to quite see what it was. Yeah, I think yeah, Yal is just kind of following in Sledgen's footsteps. Everything that Sledgen did like 11 minutes ago, Yal is now doing.
The one thing is, with the beetle, he'll be able to do slightly more. But, I mean, they're basically going to end up even. You know, I imagine Sledge. I mean, the question is Sledge going to go Skyloft or not?
Yeah, it very much depends on what he's going to do now.
Okay. Sorry, I'm getting some buffering here.
Yeah, just seeing what that hint actually was. That would be a pretty useful hint.
Yeah, I'm checking his stream right now.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Sledgen has gone to Eldin. The starting statue is the temple entrance, so right at the top, which isn't a big concern for us because we do have the Mongol mitts. Sledgen doesn't have the beetle, so he won't be able to get a lot of the beetle-based checks.
Okay.
Like there are 2 beetle-based checks just below it. He does get a bottle though, which is rather interesting.
Yeah, so those Gust Bellows were possibly required.
Ah.
And that is a bow on Beatrice, which is definitely better than 800.
Beatrice takes a while. I think it depends where you get your money. I think if you have no money, then absolutely Beatrice is better, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I just think if you're Sledge now, you kind of know you can route it in. He is meanwhile gonna grab some health because he's gonna do Elden Out of Bounds.
I never knew that store was there. Well, I think I might have known that once, but that's still being there. That's news to me. So
Yeah,
I'm rather embarrassed that I've not known that, and there has been times where I've had like 2 hearts. Well, I'll attempt this, and that was a dumb idea. He gets it first try, which is very impressive.
So essentially, what that trick does is you run up the wall, and the getting hit by the Boko has some recoil. And so it pushes you back and happens to push you up the wall. And then you can run out of bounds and skip. Basically, if you don't have claw shots, it's faster than doing the vanilla way of running.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, vanilla is very slow. Okay, Vibrant in chat is saying that there's a chair outside of every dungeon, which that is also news to me. I didn't know that.
That I did know, because I knew that chair was there. And yeah, Sand Chip, it's inside when you walk in by the Scorpo door.
I think I knew that one. That one I think is kind of hard to miss. The others I didn't know. Actually, I guess Skyview I did know, but that's because you do sit on it in like some vanilla categories. Didn't know that was true for all the dungeons though, so interesting. Just goes to show I've been running this game for like 7-8 years. You learn something new every day.
To be fair, if you don't use it much in the speedrun or the rando, you wouldn't pay attention to it, right? Like,
right, yeah.
The other nice thing here for Sledge and Yal is Magma Turf was hinted bearing. So you don't really have to worry about going into it.
Yeah, that's pretty neat, especially when you start from this side.
Yeah.
So you can just kind of blow it up and go. Yeah, just never touch Magma Turf.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna slightly help Sledge's sky rounding. I'm really surprised Sledge is not going and doing the rest of Elden here.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised as well. I feel like, yeah, I guess maybe he's like waiting for the. Oh, nope. He says oops.
Nope, he knows.
Oh, okay, right, that was a mistake. Okay.
It happens.
I don't know how much that was captured on Restream, but because on the commentary page we see like their streams, right? I think on the top left corner, as he was leaving, he typed in "oops"
I think
as a text.
I think the S might have shut up.
Yeah.
He also forgot to get all of these dig spots here.
Oh, I didn't notice.
So that's actually what the oops was he forgot to get these 3.
Right, yeah.
Because he blew up the bomb and then went to do out of bounds. I didn't comment on it, but I saw it, that he did not get all of these. So he's going to do the side hop to get down to the Thrilldigger Cave.
And as Sledge's rectifying his self-proclaimed oopsie, Yal is doing Kikwi's, which I think is kind of based. I mean, Kikwi's. I feel like Kikwi's is a very long check, so it's not one that I personally particularly like. But I guess if you can combine it with other things around Farron, it isn't too bad.
Yeah, it's such a hard call to make. That was Sledge's Crystal's dad?
That was Sledge's Crystal's dad, yes.
Like, I've gotten to the point where I don't do Kikwi Elder anymore. Unless I have a way to do it faster. So, like, bow.
Right,
plus, like, bomb bag or beetle.
C-chop on Sledgen.
It would not surprise me if we get a whatchamacallit, Elden to Tantalus path. Oh no, we got Farron to Tantalus.
Oh, we did, right.
So that's probably gonna be like Cave's Key.
Yeah. Where was Cave's Key? No, Cave's Key. Yeah, already had Cave's Key. That was on Wire Crystals on Skyloft, I believe.
Oh. So the reason Yal is doing this is because Kikwe Elder is the path, you cannot get a sometimes hint. This is actually makes a lot of sense for Yal. I commented on this because this came up in a race, and yeah, because of the way that the hints generate, paths generate and supersede sometimes hints. So this actually is a pretty smart move, especially because this could be claw shots.
That would be kind of big, actually.
I feel like it maybe has to be claw shots because we've seen the other potential path items. I don't think we're going to get like a path wallet.
It could be whip.
Oh, yes, that's true.
I feel like it would be more. I feel like the game would have more said that that'd be a path to Coloctos, but it could have said, nope, this is a Sanchip item.
Yeah, I mean, path to Coloctos though has to be whip. If it generates.
At this point, yeah, pretty much.
It's possible that we just don't get a Coloctos path and we get 2 Tentaclus paths, or No, I mean, there's almost no way we're not gonna get a Skyview path either.
Probably not. I don't think.
Because they started with it could be upper for the beetle, but it can't be mitts because both mitts were kind of out there, not locked behind anything. It can't be scale, and Yal trying to do the out of bounds trick that he sort of created. Sledge, meanwhile, does not have a strong sword, so Boko base is going to be a little tricky here.
Yeah, just on the play that Sledge is making here, I don't hate this play in Boko base. I mean, he's going for pinging chests, which is never a terrible decision. I just feel like, given that he doesn't have a lot of items like Gust Bellows and he doesn't have earrings as well. So whatever he does here, he's going to have to double dip this area again, and double dipping Boko base is like probably one of the smaller. It's probably one of the worst ways of doing it, because it takes such a long time to get anywhere in Boko base, given where you start.
It's really tricky because I don't hate this play. I didn't see if there was something else that pinged higher that's like claw shot locked. Bomb mag locked. But he might have doused and figured out that he can get both chests that have something.
Yeah.
Has anybody found Tim? Yes. Tim was on Beetle 300. Although Yao save scummed it, and I also kind of expect Sledge to save scum it.
Yao massacred our boy right there. We could have had Tim, but no. Well, Tim's still there. We just unobtained Tim.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Yal obtained Tim, and then saved it away.
Got his sword on Sledgen.
Yeah, and so Sledge probably happy about that. Obviously doesn't know that there's another sword he just hasn't gotten yet.
Right, yeah. Sledgen, please fire warp. It's way quicker than what you're doing. Please fire warp.
I don't know though. Is he trying to go back to get the other chests? I think the chest might have had something.
Oh, in that case, ignore me. As you will.
Yeah.
Oh, he's doing something. We're back. I mean, like, in Sledgen's point of view, it's like he doesn't have really any items for Boko base, so a lot of things he's having to do is the slow way. He's death warping though, so we'll see what he does after that.
Yeah, he might just be death warping to the beginning, because if the whip chest pinged, he can get it. No. Okay. It is hard to do, and especially like he didn't get this Volcano East statue, which makes it harder. I'll be careful.
Yeah, I'll be careful. Don't die. Dying is dying is bad most of the time in this game. Unless it's vanilla, then it's semi-bad.
Dying is bad unless you're trying to go back in time.
Yeah, precisely. Okay, but yeah, Sledgen.
And...
Oh, bomb
okay.
bag. Wow.
Sledge is probably like kicking himself a little bit that he didn't get that first. But...
yeah, I think it's a big thing in this game, especially where like you can do a lot of places and you don't really get a great most of the time in this game. I feel like you don't really get that punished for backtracking because fly warping means that if you like choose wrong, you can kind of just walk back to a generally pretty safe area. I feel like Boko Base is kind of an exception where double dipping that and backtracking through that takes a very long time. So it's kind of in my mind, it's definitely one of the places that you wouldn't want to go to unless you have a lot of items. But again, in Sledgen's case, there was a pinging chest there, so and it never hurts to go for them. But yeah, probably killing himself, flying that bomb bag immediately afterwards.
Sledge, do you remember that Magma Turf was hinted Baron?
I don't think he remembers that, given that he has it on his...
he remembers.
Oh no, he got it. Okay.
Okay.
Easily done. I've done that many times before, personally. Yeah.
And now he's gonna go to the sky and finally go to Skyview, or not to Skyloft. Sledge definitely will start routing in Beatrice. Like, I think he's gonna start by doing the first conversation.
I think that would make a lot of sense. I wouldn't blame him if he didn't, given that there are 2 other bows in the pool. So he might also just try and hope that he finds another bow and just completely skips Beatrice. But I feel like both strategies are bad, especially as he does have that knowledge that he does have a bow. And right now in Sledgen's position, he doesn't really have any quick projectiles. So it could be that he might just go for Beatrice and like he knows that there's a quick projectile there, the bow, so he might just go get that really quickly. We'll see what he does.
Yeah, I don't know what the right call is, especially because he does not have a way to even get into Beetle Shaw.
I guess bombs technically, but that's not in logic. It's kind of dumb.
Yeah. I don't know if he knows that trick or not.
It's kind of stupid.
But
yeah. Oh my god.
He's trying to death warp.
Oh, okay, good. Never mind.
Yeah,
Never mind.
That was a death warp.
Okay, I thought he was like trying to explode the frog without taking damage. I'm like, yeah, you are very close to that, but no, that was intentional. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. So if Sledge does save Scum his money, he will be able to get the bow and clear the rest of everything useful in Beetle Shop. And when he gets this beetle, I think he's going to be very happy.
Yeah, that'll give him a projectile that's better than bombs, so he won't have to time a stupid throw to get into Beetle's shop.
Yeah, I do think Sledge is likely to go back to Farron here rather than Linearu, only because he now has everything he needs to beat Skyview.
Oh, and Yal doing this trick that I kind of just forgot existed, and yeah, it's very interesting. Where you can actually hit that switch from the other side, and with a hook beetle, and yeah, it's pretty quick.
Yeah, this is another one of the tricks that I think it was Ray Storm Thunder discovered during the Remlets tournament, or the lead up to it. He discovered a lot of kind of cool tricks with Beetle, along with Sledge. Yeah. They were kind of the pioneers in the Beetle tricks. That peak that Sledge did, there's a way to do it with the Beetle that I think one of them discovered.
Yeah. Also Yao getting some spores while he's in Skyview. Also H, by the way.
Yeah. I do think Yao is probably going to finish up Kikwi Elder on his way to Sealed Grounds from here. Like, he did the 2 slow Kikwis. I think he's going to do the others. I think it makes sense with the path hint. He does not have the hint that Gust Bellows lock. The fact that Gust Bellows are possibly required tells you at least that claw shots are not on top of the game tree. Unless this is the, like, 1% of seeds where claw shots are not required. It's a fun thing from the statistics. Claw shots, aside from Triforces and swords, are the most common items to be hard required.
Yeah, honestly, like Gust Bellow possibly required is not really a hit use every day, because I think most checks that involve Gust Bellows are either, or Gust Bellows is either something that's either not required or at least logically required. I think very rarely, there's not many checks where you have like Gust Bellows and something else. There are exceptions to this, i.e. the Great Tree, which is, that might be where the hint is talking about, but it's, Gust Bellows being possibly required isn't something you see every day. Also, first Triforce on Sledgen's end, and on Yao's end, we're done with Skyview, which is neat.
Yeah, I mean, we are not going to see either runner enter the linear trial, because there's, at this point, it's telling you there are 2 checks. Because that's all that Gust Bellows hard blocks on its own. And at most, those have Gratitude Crystals, a beetle, something else. So I think it's a pretty good bet to just skip it.
Right, yeah.
And Sledge hopefully will save Scum here. I think in his shoes, this would be a really good idea. I don't know if he will, because he might not think he needs to. Although I think there was a gold rupee, so I think he'll be okay. Oh! Harp then is going to be in Farron. Because Song of the Hero, Skyloft Silent Realm has Whip plus 1 item. Yeah, required Whip with Ancient Cistern. It has to be. You can't be clocked just without it. So that's not really much of a hint. I think the thing Sledge is most going to hate when he sees it here is those Fire Shield Earrings on 1,000. Do you need Whip? So Sandship, you may not need Whip. But Ancient Cistern, Whip is 100% hard required. You cannot beat Cistern without the Whip. And, yep, that is our expected AC Rupee under Lily Pad. Is our boss key. I don't know, Robo, if that was done. Okay, Sledge. Interesting. Sledge did not buy Tim. Did not buy the bow. I think he's trying to kind of hope he doesn't have to go back, and he will be lucky here, but
yeah.
He's trying not to waste money right now, which I get.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. I think that's. I mean, like with Beetle now goes up to 1,000. So even though Sledgen has more than 1,000, you know, I don't know what the total cost of Beetle is now, but I think it's quite a lot. So saving money is often a good idea.
Yeah, Robo, I don't know if anyone has done that because obviously beetles, bows, and slingshots are almost always possibly required. Gratitude crystals are in most cases possibly required. So it's not, I think he's not asking what checks are possibly required, but what actual items. So it is 3,050 rupees is the total you need for everything. 1,000, 800, 600, 300, the 300 items, and the 50.
Right. That's a lot of rupees.
Yeah. Maybe my hottest take is I suspect in the future we are going to go back to only beetle through 300. So I think enough people have gotten the rupee grinding seeds and realized how awful it is.
I will just say I do really like how we mostly how we ended up like with the settings that we have now for season 3. I think they're really good.
Yeah.
Not many complaints. I do have a few, and I think a lot of my personal gripes to them often are associated with money and beetle and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Sledge, I'm surprised by his choice in Beetle Shop here. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, he does have slingshots, so... Which in itself is a relatively quick projectile. I think bow is objectively a better projectile, but he does have slingshot. I guess he might hope to find another bow somewhere else. I'm honestly not quite sure, but either way, he left Beetle Shop. He might be coming back later on, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, he is now going to go do Skyview, and I'm surprised. So, Sledge at this point, I think, is going to do Kikwi Elder. Because I think with the hint he has a pretty... He can kind of guess that path to Tennis is either Claw Shot or Harp. Either way, an item you're going to have to do. And with Gust Bellows where they are, the worst place Harp could be is like top of the Great Tree somewhere. The path hints are going to be really interesting though, because we're definitely not getting a Girahim 1 path. Or almost certainly not. Because I think we would have gotten it by now.
Yeah, I feel like we would have. And honestly, with the seeds, yeah, we're probably
unless it's in caves. That's the one exception that could be in caves.
Depends where claw shots are, I feel. Otherwise, I doubt we'll get a Girahim 1 path hint.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we just don't know where the other... We don't know where the other beetle is. Because that's kind of the only thing that could be a path hint.
Right, yeah.
So our Barons are Summit, Gorge, and Magma Turf. I wonder if Yal is going to do the trial RBW in Skyloft.
Oh yeah, you can get Paris crystals from the house.
Yep.
I knew that, but I don't know why I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Yep, and he is going to do a loose crystal play here, which I think makes sense where he is. Like, it's not a bad play.
Yeah. In general, I'm not a massive fan of loose crystals plates. Sorry, Golden. Just because of like how much time they often take, and like the odds of you just running into a Gradu crystal randomly is relatively high. But I feel like in Yal's position, 5 off of 30, you get 2 checks. And getting 5 is not the slowest thing in the world. So I
this
understand.
to me is the place where it makes the most sense to do it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And Sledge also missing the extended blow.
I guess Yal's also routing in Beatrice here, which does make a little bit more sense as well.
Yep.
Yeah, getting that bow as well. Yeah, so no, yeah, definitely a very valid play from Yal here to do what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, routing it in with other checks makes it make more sense.
Absolutely, yeah.
I just, like, I don't know, if you're Yal, the only thing about the RBW is, like, you do have to get the harp no matter what, and it's kind of slow. So I don't know that it's totally worth it.
I mean, that's my feeling with, like, back in time in general, is that, like, a lot of the time, just finding the item is often quicker, just because of how long it takes to set up back in time and things like that. And in this case, I mean, we know that Whip is behind the Skylab trial, and getting that early might be useful. But at the same time, we have to get the harp anyway, so you could also argue that it's just better to wait for that, since you're gonna have to get it at some point.
Right. It's probably not the play, especially because Yal is going to be able... Yal has not been to Eldin yet. Yal has not been to Lineru yet. Yal can full clear the Eldin Volcano region. And also do more in Boko base, potentially, if he wants to.
It's definitely turning out that there seems to be a very open seed at the start. Like we've already got three tablets relatively early. The runners have had no shortage of options to go with, which often are pretty fun. I think these are, in my opinion, like the more fun seats to play. They are at most danger of turning into like casinos with swords or triforces at the end. So we'll see how these seats pan out. But I'm sure for the time being, our runners are having a good time with the seat.
Yeah, and so we got a Triforce on Betro 5, Din's Power, which is junk on Betro 10, and junk on Betro 30. Yeah, and Sledge getting those... Sledge is going to be able to skip Beatrice now, because he has all the rupees he needs to full clear Beetle's Shop.
Yeah, the wallet's very much... like scale massively in this game. It goes from like 300 to 1,000 to 5,000 pretty quickly. And another thing we have here. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go. I was just gonna say, like, the wallets. The last two wallets give you 4,000 rupees, and with the wallets filling, once you get that wallet, it's just you can buy everything you need.
Yeah. That's basically what I was gonna say as well. Like, in these settings, at least, the wallets come pre-filled. So, yeah, once you have the Giant's wallet, it's basically just rolling in the money at that point. Yeah,
and we see Yal is selling in the night market to get the 1,000 item. This is one of the ways you can grind rupees. It's why rupee grinding in these settings is not fun. I had a seed where I had to do this to buy out Beetle's Shop with only the basic wallet. It's the worst seed on these settings anyone has ever rolled or played.
I also agree that this is rupee grinding is not fun. Yeah,
in
this game
could do Thrill Digger as well. The thing about Thrill Digger is a complete random game. And I think Yal probably would like the Fire Shield earrings, because Yal is probably thinking, well, if I get claw shots, I can, if I get... Actually, Yal won't even need claw shots to get up into upper Boko base. Because Yal almost certainly knows the bomb trick and the whip skip. So Yal is probably thinking, I want these earrings because I can potentially full clear Boko base.
And he probably will be able to do that actually next time he's there, so I guess he'll gain a lot of time over Sledgen, because Sledgen's going to have to, like, if he goes back to Boko base, he's going to have to kind of retrace his steps a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Sledge is probably not going to be Boko base for a very long time. Oh, that is a cute trick by Sledge. I didn't know you could do that, but that
I
makes a
didn't
lot of
either.
sense that you can.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty clever. Yeah, back into Elvin.
Although, it probably would have been faster for Sledge just to save and Death Warp out of here than to do that trick.
Yeah, he's got low health ish. He's got bombs. It's Death Warping wouldn't be too slow at this point.
But yeah, right now we're just kind of seeing them both retracing their steps. I just wonder when someone is going to go get Kiwi Elder. Because to me, there's now like a 1 in 4 chance that that's your heart.
Yeah.
But like, I think Sledge is probably just going to go to Lanayru here. Because with the items he has, basically the only thing he can't do is go between Sandsea and caves. And potentially he can't do all of Skipper's Retreat without the whip. But like, whichever region you start in Lanayru, you're going to be able to do a fair amount. Desert is very check dense. The rest of Lanayru slightly less so. I think we're going to see Sledge do the other variation on this trick, which is, I would say, more precise, because you have to be very good with the timing on this bomb. And yeah, he missed that. You have to be very fast pulling out the beetle, getting it up, and getting this, but Sledge gets it. Very nice.
Like, it's often kind of interesting. It's like I guess you don't realize, like personally as a runner, I'm watching like these other runners and I'm like realizing that like how many strats I'm like not too familiar with. It just kind of goes to show that like like any runner can learn more by just watching other people. Because I mean, you don't know what you don't know after all.
Yeah, and I would say, I mean, this game especially, I think there are new strategies and things being discovered pretty frequently. Like, I don't think, I watch a lot of Ocarina of Time, and I think there's not as much new things being discovered because that's been around and competitive and played for so long.
Right.
Yeah, I think we're going to see Sledge buy out Beetle's shop before he goes to Lanayru, because the bow is a useful item to have anywhere. But yeah, I mean, we're really just seeing the runners kind of... Right now we're seeing Yal do things that we saw Sledge do at this point like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, very much so.
I'm gonna guess that our spawn in Lanayru is in Gorge. And we can at least get some more hints there.
That'd be a cool, like a not bad starting statue. Gorge is like, yeah, never a bad one.
I also assume the Farron spawn was not the top of the Great Tree for either of them, because if it was, we would have seen Sledge at least check that when he went to Sky.
Yeah, I feel like yeah, that's probably
That's
probably
the one starting statue that has a little different logic. I wonder if Yal is gonna go. I think Yal is gonna do Boko base after he gets the rest of the checks here, because I think he wants to end in Boko base and Fire Warp out. I think he'll be sad if he does it first, and then only later finds out, oh, here's my bomb bag. But although with this, he's definitely not going to do more. Maybe he is going to do this, because that is the only... Oh. So that is 2 checks Yao can do. I think he's thinking about it. I think he'll be sad, though. He'll be very sad when he gets the bomb bag. When he does...
Yeah, it's like right outside where the entrance to Boko base is.
But this is going to mean that kind of both runners are doing the same double dipping of a Boko base.
Yeah, I think Sledgen is he's gone back to get the bow and other stuff as well.
I mean, this makes a ton of sense in Sledge's position. Just clear it out. It is entirely possible, though, that those Fire Shield earrings are completely useless. Like, I don't think we're going to see either runner go check the summit part of Boko base anytime soon. Yes, and Sledge not only gets Tim, but he's keeping Tim.
Let's go.
We can't fault Yal for not keeping Tim.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it makes sense why you'd want to save Scum because, like, you know, money is quite valuable, especially in these settings. But yeah.
Oh,
there's the last bow.
There's our third bow. Yal is quite unhappy.
Slash slash slash.
And he's trying to figure out the best way to get out, which is from where Yal is probably to ride this and go out. And I think when he gets the bomb bag, we might see him do a few more slashes of that.
I wouldn't blame him.
That chest.
I wouldn't at all.
Like I said, in top of LMF chest is a not required bomb. That's not surprising, actually. With our hints.
Sledge getting it, Greg.
Upper Skyloft and Colossus.
Ooh, actually, that's interesting. I don't think we've got a huge amount from Upper Skyloft yet.
Could that be for a beetle? Or
maybe?
An Amber Tablet? We got beetle and Amber Tablet, as from what I remember.
Yeah. I guess maybe. If like Whip is in Lineru, then yeah, absolutely.
I mean, what if claw
there.
shots are in Lineru? Because then the paths converge, and the harp is going to be on top of the Great Tree somewhere.
Would a path hint like that make sense? Because here's the thing: it's like, could that path hint be referring to Amber Tablet if it was found in Lineru?
Yeah, if the claw shots are in Lineru, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because the whip is a path item for both dungeons. So this could
Right.
just be converging paths where everything is on the logical path to whatchamacallit. I wonder, is Yal gonna go into Boko Base and full clear it? Yeah.
Going in that direction, yeah.
So it looks like none of the chests here in Linear are pinged. None of the exterior chests. Yeah, so we are going to see Yal do a cool little trick here. You probably should explain it, because I don't understand exactly how it works.
What the...
Whip skip?
Honestly, I barely understand it myself, but
You know how to do it, though.
I think so. I think I've maybe done it once. It's been a while ago since I've done it.
Oh. Meanwhile...
Oh, there's this, first of all, Yal's doing this, like, bomb boost thing here, where he tries to go over this fence here.
Yep. Sledge doing Temple of Time skip, this double break slide. Yeah, RoboJumper in chat saying hints are so interesting this season. I agree.
Yeah.
I think with Remlets, with a lot of things removed, the hints kind of flattened out and were fairly predictable. It's a little more confusing, but also just getting them on Gossip Stones just kind of changes things.
Because yeah, we're gonna see Yal doing the whip skip here, which is basically yeah. So basically, he pulled up the map, and he held a certain position on the nunchuck for a frame, and that made him turn around in a very precise angle, and he used that angle to then jump off the ledge, and he was able to get collision off of the wall, and hop up and then skip using the whip. So it's basically using the map to buffer a frame of Link turning around, so he gets to the correct angle there.
Yeah, and Sledge did another break slide here. Looks like none of the chests here pinged. Okay, that is confirming. No, that is a Beetle Lock Beetle. Yeah. Right now. Until we get claw shots. So that Beetle at Upper Skyloft could actually be a path item.
Could be.
Because until we see claw shots, like that is locked by the Beetle.
Yeah, logically it is. Yeah, I think because Temple of Time, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, from where they spawn, the game expects you to traverse Temple of Time completely, which you never want to do in a race. Feels very bad.
Yeah, unless you start from Temple of Time. If you don't, it's pretty slow to go out of your way that far.
Yeah, there's a reason we disabled the hint in Temple of Time, because it's terrible.
Yeah, pretty much. I agree with that.
And Sledge is not going to have to come back to Linear Desert at any point. He'll probably get the statue, but that is really interesting.
Interesting that there's like nothing in Linear pretty much, except for a beetle, really.
I mean, there is nothing.
Yeah.
The only useful item, I think, was a beetle and a sword.
Oh, right, there's a sword, yeah.
I do think Sledge is probably going to do Thunderhead, though, with 4 swords and... I mean... Could we have swords required for claw shots on the final Isle of Songs item?
I guess we could, yeah.
The other interesting thing, though, of course, is like Fair and Woods to Tentalis, the only useful item we've gotten so far, I think, was a beetle. So we're going to see pretty soon what this is. Was that Gratitude Crystal in Chest and Shack?
That was, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, possibly required.
I feel like that's the third time I've seen the hint, which I don't think is possible in a single seed.
I don't think
only
we've
appears
seen that
twice.
hint before.
I know we saw it on Volcano Island, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, did we? I don't think we did.
Either way, we're going to see Yao get Kikri Elder here. I had just a red rupee.
Well, interesting.
Very
Where
interesting.
are claw shots?
Yeah,
That's kind of the mystery of the seed right now.
As much as I said the seed was kind of open, now it's kind of being a little bit
I think
a bit
we're
closed
bottlenecking into this Isle of Songs.
very, very much bottlenecking. Both runners are down to single-digit locations accessible.
And it's well, Yal hasn't been to Linearu, so we're excluding that.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I mean, we're seeing kind of right now, Sledge has just cleared a lot more of the seed than Yal at this point. They're kind of even.
There's a possibility.
There's the Har. So
okay, so that's a few trials.
think, yeah, I think those beetles were path to get the swords, to get the Har. I missed what was in
Maybe.
Fair and Trial.
Something that was possibly required. I missed what the exact item was as well.
Yeah, I may try and go check Sledge's VOD.
It's pretty difficult to see on the commentary page because we're seeing kind of two half-sized screens that are kind of like at a relatively low resolution, and we only see them for like a split second, so it can be hard to make out the things.
I'm pulling up his VOD, so bear with me as I go quiet for a second as I pause.
Alrighty, I can cover. No worries. Yeah, possibly the hints are coming. So it'll tell you if something is not required, possibly required, or required. Not required is the game will deem this as a not required item, so you don't need to get this. Definitely required, the game deems that as you will need it. It's normally just logically required though, so in some instances you might even be able to still skip it. Possibly required is the game basically telling you this is useful, but there's also another item which will probably like there are ways around this item, but this item itself can lead to something that you need to beat the.
So Furor's Courage has a progressive wallet possibly required, +1 item.
Yeah, right. So progressive wallet. There were things on Beetle, so you could use that wallet to get those things on Beetle. But because it's possibly required, the game basically tells you, but there's probably there are other ways around this wallet. The wallet itself is still useful, but there are other wallets in this case that you can use to beat the game. Hence, it's possibly required.
I also now have a theory that our third path hint was on Volcano Summit, and we're just never going to see it.
That would make sense.
Yeah, so if you've watched Ocarina of Time Triforce Splits, there's this concept of Path and Wanderer, and the required, possibly required, is essentially the same concept.
There's the whip on Sledgen.
Yep. So he's gonna go out of here and probably warp to start, and go clear Cistern. Not gonna enjoy having to do it the vanilla way without claw shots, but kind of has to. Yeah, the required, possibly required, it's a thing that I want to say Majora's Mask was doing first, and then Wind Waker adopted it. It just so happens in this game, because there are items like beetles, bows, and slingshots, that can almost never be less than possibly required. And likewise, like gratitude crystals, unless Patro is barren, it's very hard for them to be less than possibly required. Wallets, if there's something potentially useful above 300 on Beetle's shop. Possibly required does not give you a ton of info. Not required is what gives you info. Feels like Yal is pretty far behind here. I would say Sledge has checked 13 more things than Yal right now.
Yeah, I think Sledgen, I want to say Sledgen is slightly ahead on the amount of seed done, but I think...
but also because of where that harp is, Sledge, I think, is quite a bit ahead at this point.
Yeah, I think Sledgen has a bit more of a lead on the items as well. I think both runners have made like some have had some time losses rather.
Yeah.
I think like Sledgen going to Boko base early without many items. I mean, Yao did the exact same thing as well, actually. But that's like I think another thing that Yao did specifically, which I know he did. I just can't remember what exactly it was. But yeah, I think both runners have had moments of like. There were the claw shots.
And Sledge is going to be very happy because that is now going to allow him to do Cistern much faster. So, okay. So, our path item. Our Faron Woods to Tendalus was definitely the beetle. Because that beetle locked the sword in Lineru, which locked Harp. And then our upper Skyloft to Coloctos was either Amber Tablet or Beetle for the same reason.
Beetle Paths are honestly just insane.
Yeah, you don't see them often. It's salty. It is, I would say, too early to tell.
I think for sure, yeah, definitely too early to tell.
Because we don't know where the final Triforce is. We don't know where the final sword is. Yes, belated happy 1 hour. Please give our runners follow, both Yal and Sledgen. Thank you to my co-commentator, Kit Cott. And thank you to our trackers, Vibrant Viola and Featherblade.
And thank you to my co-commentator and the Rushima for this, which is Golden Devil. But yeah, no, I think this is definitely far from GG's. There's like both runners need many Triforces and swords, and still need to do most of their dungeons. And honestly, like a big casino at the end could be like kind of could switch things up a little bit. So we still have we're still like only like maybe half of the seed, maybe over the halfway point at this point. But we're yeah, I think still.
And that is, I think, 100% now. That path beetle, because
yeah, I think so as well. Yeah.
All 4 of our beetles were locked. Our other 3 beetles were locked behind the first beetle. Sledge. Oh, he's gonna do the fence hop to get in. I was like, what? Where is he going? Yeah, because our first beetle was on Upper Skyloft. Our second beetle was the one by the Floria Ledge. Our third was in Lineru, locked behind Hook Beetle. And our fourth was on the top of the Great Tree, locked by Clawshot and also beetles. Also, I hope you're not hearing this. There's very loud rain where I am and winds. I'm hoping you're not able to hear it with my filter, but apologies in advance.
I think it's been good. I think it's been good for the duration of the commentary. I haven't heard much on my end, at least.
Yeah, I think the thunderstorms kind of passed. We're about to have like 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts, so that's gonna be
pretty
less
quick.
fun. And Sledge is doing this trick called a vine clip, where essentially if you pick up the vines at the right point, you're gonna... I think you're basically hitting the vines on a crease until you actually can warp out of bounds. And Sledge...
That's smart on his end, getting the boss key like that. Yeah.
That's why I said the claw shots were a big help, because he knows 100% that the second small key has to be on the Goblin, since none of the chests have anything. So, some nice time save. Again, like if Yal decides to go to Cistern before doing Sealed Grounds, which would make a lot of sense in this situation, that's like more time loss.
Right.
Sledge also going to be happy to have bombs here for Coloctos for the quick kill. Although I think he does know the quick kill strat with White Sword.
Yeah, I think White Sword is possible. It's a little bit more precise than Master Sword because it does less damage, but it's definitely possible.
Yeah, you have to do some specific things, which is why I think he's just going to do the bomb strategy.
Yeah, Yao leaving the Nehru. Looks like he's going to Thunderhead. So I guess right now, technically following in Sledgen's footsteps. Again, absolutely not over until it's over. A casino for the last Triforces or last swords can definitely sway the balance here. So it might look like Sledgen has the lead, and he might have a tiny one at this point, but it can all change very quickly in this game.
Yeah, and I do think I do think Sledge is pretty solidly ahead at this point, though.
Yeah, I think at this point it's his race to lose, definitely. Or his race to win. Is it?
It's his race to lose.
Yeah, lose. Yeah, okay. Yeah. He's ahead. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah, very solid Coloctos fight.
Very solid. I really like the side note, I like the sword models on Yal's side. I would have a hard time remembering what model is which sword, but I guess if I feel like if I played it enough, I'd remember. Like I'm sure Yal knows.
Yeah, I mean this is stuff that was developed for the Girahim model, but he plays with it on Link.
Oh right, that's cool. I think I actually noticed that earlier, where on the mini map, I think it was Girahim's face, not Link's face.
Yeah. So Sledge at this point is going to go to Lanayru. He's going to go probably do Sandship first into Sandsea. Maybe he's going to go check out what's in Lanayru Mine on the way. Like, there's not a lot of horrible places that our last Triforces or Sword could be. There's potentially... Maybe there's a Sword in Fair and Trial. We know it's not in Skyloft Trial. We know one of the Triforces is on Petro's house as well. Could be a while before Sledge goes and gets that. Yeah, not surprising. Sledge is going to at least douse mine, because he can death warp back to here.
Yeah, getting the whip as well. So that's good for him. Another useful item he's got.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whip we knew about, but he's getting it, I would say, quite a bit behind Sledge at this point, and that was a pretty hard bottleneck.
Yeah, he got it quite... I think Sledgen got it way earlier than Yao did.
Yeah, I mean, that Sledge got that, 10 minutes ago?
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes ago? Yeah, about that. Maybe longer. Ass is getting crushed by the statue.
Oh.
He's alright, still has like one more heart left.
Sledge is trying to lose health, though, for the Death Warp. It would be funny if there's a Triforce here.
Oh yeah, because that'll take his health back to full.
Sledge. Yeah, I forgot to see which check had the item here.
It looks like it was the
statue, because he's blowing it up. Because you have to, Oh, Yala's cistern clipping. Right, I forgot you can cistern clip to do this this beetle trick. Although with quick beetle, I actually don't think you even needed to do that all this way. I think the quick beetle range is pretty far. Just be careful, Sledge. Sledge grabbing a heart here.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Again, Yal using Cistern Clip to skip the back half. Like we said, he also knows that the second small key is in a particular spot, so... one thing I do want to warn you all about. So the runners have enabled breaks, which are new... I say new thing. They were around for Remlet. They're going to be taking a 5-minute break at an hour and a half. There's a thing that I think the Ocarina of Time Random Settings League does, and OTR League also allows, that we decided to do as a community. Oh, Sledge taking... picking up a heart he didn't mean to, but trying to avoid getting killed by the Deku Babas here. This one is a little more of a troll. It can knock you off if you're not careful.
Yeah, he gets all the items in mine successfully, and now is death whooping. So
did we get a bat 50 hint that I forgot to write down?
I don't think we have done yet.
And am I looking for reasons to do 10 loose? No, I'm not, Robo. I'm actually very much not looking for reasons to do 10 loose.
10 loose does take a while, specifically.
Yeah. Is it doable? Sure. Would I recommend it when you have 55 locations remaining? No. Sledge does have to go back to Batro at some point, and so like that Triforce on Batro could be really important for Yao. Because there are a lot of things that Sledge could do before he goes for it.
Right, yeah. I mean, Batro is relatively check dense, so it makes sense to do it, especially when you have all the crystals, but I know a lot of the time it makes sense to try and wait for more crystals. Sledgen does have 40, but if he tries to wait for 50, and he ends up waiting a while, or just goes to other places and not Batro, then that Triforce on Batro might give Yao a little bit more of an advantage. Yeah, Sledgen, I think, is going to be the first of our two runners to enter Sandship. He can pretty much do everything here at full speed.
Yeah.
Sandship's just a slow dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, we did get that the Brig is dead, so that you can skip a little bit, but really the best hint you can get in Sandship is the Robot on Brig reward does not have... It has a small key not required, because it rules out the 3 slowest checks in the dungeon.
Yeah. Yeah, you get rid of that robot and brick, and also the key not being required. Bosky and Skerbo you both know there's nothing there, so yeah, very nice to have.
But yeah, I mean, Sledge he's going to be able to do all of Sansi except Chest and Shack, which is a Gratitude Crystal pack. He's going to be able to do all of Boko Base, which we know, I think there's nothing in the top of Boko Base.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll see if he finishes Sandship before the break. It's going to be close, I think.
Yeah, it might be close, yeah. I think if he full clears it, he might barely not make it, because Sandship is a pretty long dungeon, and Tentless as well. Pretty long.
That's true. Sledge almost forgot to get the switch for the Time Shift Stone. If you're Sledge, you're really hoping that there is a small key here, so you can kind of save scum some things. And yeah, because backtracking in this dungeon is the reason that Sandship can be really rough in Rando.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a chance Sledge is going to do 5 loose if he does not have 50 when he goes back to Skyloft. Because those crystals in the chest and shack are definitely like in logic now. because the gust bellows are definitely in logic. Not that you want to go do it, but
yeah, I mean, he would definitely be more like more than his right to do Fire Blues here. So it would mean that he would be able to do Patrol as like a one.
It just kind of depends. Like, you know, he will do Betrow 50 next time he goes to Skyloft, and he has a decent amount of things to do in Skyloft at this point. I wonder. So for the combination lock, because you have bow, the gust bellows can only be possibly required. So yeah, the gust bellows are only hard required if your first logical bow is on the combo lock. That's the only way gust bellows can be required for Sandship specifically, which can happen, but it's really awful.
Yeah, can do.
Fun fact though, unless you're playing Key Sanity, your first logical bow can never be in the vanilla bow location. Just because that is blocked by 2 keys, and bow locks all but 1 check in the dungeon. Weird randomizer quirks. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think that Sledgen is relatively close to go mode. Just kind of needs a swords and 2 Triforces. One of which we know where one of them is. The other Triforce we have no idea. The other sword we have no idea. Yeah, he's about like 3 items from go, which is very much in the territory of getting there.
So I think at this point, boss key is in one of the 2 small key locked locations. Because I don't think the combination lock had anything.
Yeah, I don't think it might have pinged. And Sledgen might not have got it. Unless he did get it and I wasn't paying attention, which is, he could do. Okay, also I say that Sledgen isn't far from go. I mean, neither is Yao, to be honest. I think he... Yeah, he
no, I mean, it's just like the question of what's the order, because again, that if Sledge puts off Betrow, that is potentially giving a lot of time to Yao.
Yeah, very much so, yeah. Yeah, like I mean, Sledgen is like arguably further on in the seed with how he's in his last dungeon. But Yao, I think, is like item-wise slightly closer to go mode. So I think Sledgen has and also Sledgen's done more of the. Actually, no. I'm looking at the locations remaining on both the trackers. I think Yao has finally kind of caught up. It's 43 on Yao, 46 on Sledgen.
Yeah, because Yao checked Upper Boko base and has done a couple more things on Skyloft, like Betrow.
Right. Yeah.
So I think Sledge is probably, if this is not the boss key, going to save at the statue and do the top 2 checks and Death Warp.
Yeah, but honestly, I think both runners at this point. I was going to say Sledgen has a slight lead, but honestly, I think Yao's catching up quite considerably. So I think it's starting to get more even.
Yeah, I mean, Sledge went into Sandship 7-8 minutes ago. So he still has got a solid lead. Okay, interesting. Sledge actually, he is gonna check the boss key chest in Skirbo here. The missing Triforce was on that 5.
This isn't bad routing from Sledgen. I feel like I would have rather seen him do as he was there, I'd rather seen him do Tentalus and then come back for this later. Because now he's gonna have to backtrack.
What I would have done too.
Yeah, because now he's gonna have to backtrack to the boss door again.
The other option I think would have been saving and death warping from these checks.
Right,
might have been faster. Like, I don't want to fault him too much.
Ultimately, it's just like more movement he has to do now, which is...
Yeah, and he's gambling that Skirbo has nothing.
Yeah, which is fair. It is, I believe, sometimes in these things.
Yeah. Yeah, I again can't blame him for orphaning Skirbo. Of course, if Skirbo has our Triforce and Yao gets it, it's basically over.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of things can change the tide of races really easily.
But we are at the 5-minute break. I think we may also hop off and take a brief break.
Yeah, I'm down to that. I don't have too much to yap about.
Yeah, so we're gonna take a quick break as well. I want to make sure, but just bear with us. We will be back in probably like 3 minutes when the runners come back.
Yeah, stay tuned.
I'm just confirming. I'm gonna. All right, and we are back. The runners will start in about a minute or so, but I don't know. It seems like a good time to do a recap of where we're at, which is Sledge is definitely like 6 or 7 minutes ahead in Sandship. Yal got into it a little later. The one advantage Yal has is a Triforce that was on Patrol 5. He also has done a little more in Skyloft and Boko Base.
Yeah, so I think right now it's generally about even-ish. I think Sledgen's a little bit more through Sandship. Both have around similar locations left, maybe a slight edge on Yao for that one. But yeah, for the most part, it's still anyone's game, and just a few more items left until go mode. So, yeah, and if Sledgen wins this will be going to a game 3. And if Yao wins this, then he will be moving on to win the semis. So, very interesting, interesting race here. We have. Yeah, both.
Yeah, I mean the other, obviously the other thing that could be potentially big, I don't think we saw a hint for Skirvo, which Sledge skipped. If Skirvo has a Triforce or a sword and Yal does it, that obviously could be huge. Sledge, my guess is he is feeling he is a slower runner, and so that gamble and like not doing Kikui Elders, which never got hinted, were things he was willing to risk.
I think, and I believe the one with the Kikui Elders, that assuming he doesn't go back and do that, that should pay off, because that was just a red rupee. But we'll see what happens with Skirvo and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll see if Yal even does Skirvo. Like, I'm not confident he will. Is skipping Kikui Elder a risk? Well, we did have a Fair and Woods path, so yes. I would say when Fair and Woods is a hinted path, skipping Kikui Elder is a little more of a risk. It is resolved, but it took quite a while to figure out that it was just a beetle.
No Tantalus blow on Sledgen's end. Doesn't have the Gust Bellows.
Yeah, neither runner is going to get Gust Bellows this siege.
Yeah, it's on a trial and it's only possibly required, so... Yeah.
Background Power Ghost is probably asleep right now. Sledge even went to go check to be Will, to switch over to the Bellows before realizing I don't have them.
I think Pac-Man might be, given his time zone, he might be waking up, so he might be waking up to an unblown Tantalus. But yeah, Tantalus is just a very, very long fight, so it's /I cutscene /I cutscene, and just like, yeah, it's a fun one. Sub movement, get hit by a barrel, cutscene, shoot I, yeah. Yeah, Jazix in chat puts it really well. 5-minute break followed by another 5-minute break. That is basically basically what Sledgen is going through right now.
The Tantalus fight is a bit of an auto-scroller. So I wonder if Yal is going to just skip the keys altogether. It'd be a very interesting risk.
Yeah, very interesting.
What is Yal? Did he bring the boat up to the top? Oh. Okay. So Yal is going to wait to come back to Sandship and do other stuff first. So he is trying to gamble that the small keys don't have anything, because he figured out those 2 pings have to be the small keys. Which this makes a lot of sense if you're Yal and you feel behind, and you want to hope that you can go mode the dungeon and skip a lot of it.
I mean, also just like doing those 2 checks, or like going all the way to treasure room, does take a while. So he might be hoping that the other things have nothing, which I believe right now is true. Depends on what Skirbo has. A curse medal on Sledge's side, but it is going to be yeeted into the item check, so that would be quite nice. Alright, you can just shoot that guy with a bow. I should do that more often. It would save me a lot of pain.
The Phoenixes?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh no, that is what we do. Interestingly, Sledge is skipping Sansi. We saw 2 pings here.
Respect it. Santi is, you know, a lot of sailing, and Sledgen's a Windmaker runner, so he does enough of that already.
That's true. I mean, so is Yao.
Yeah, true. Actually, yeah, Yao is also a Windmaker runner. Both these runners very much used to sailing the 7 seas. Yeah, Sledgen back to Elden. And
here, then Yao is gonna win.
That would be huge for Yao, because then all he would have to do is beat Sandchip, and then yeah, well, we'll see. So yeah, Yao is just 1 item from go.
I mean, it would be kind of a like. I mean, even if there's a sword somewhere else here in Sansi, then Yao is ahead.
Yeah, just a reminder about swords. There's... I can't remember the number, but there's... we just need the regular Master Sword to finish the game. Although we could... So we need all but 1 of the swords in the pool. So... Yeah. So for Yao, there are 2 available swords somewhere that he can get.
Yeah, so they start with the level 1 sword. You need the level 5. So there are...
Right.
There are 5 swords. You only need 4 of them.
Yeah, that's the numbers on that. Yeah. Right, Sledgen with the bow. And yeah, Yao having the quick beetle is able to do these checks really quickly, which is always a nice feeling. I hate doing these with the beetle. Like, it's possible, but it takes so long.
Yeah, I was trying to peek that. I couldn't see what it was.
I think it was just a bottle.
Yeah, he didn't see either.
Oh no, it's a medal. Okay. I don't know how I confused that for a bottle, because medals and bottles look very distinct from each other, but...
I mean, we are looking at a kind of smaller, lower resolution.
I was kind of just trying to figure out what item those 2 pixels were, really.
I mean, the other interesting thing here is, if there's a sword on Skirbo and Yao gets it, that could still put him ahead.
Right, yeah. Yeah, honestly, I feel like at this point... Okay, so yeah, so she was in Pirates Rock, but honestly, I feel like at this point it's kind of the script's kind of flipped a little bit. I feel like Yao kind of gained a lead somewhere, and yeah, I mean it's gonna depend on where the last items are, but yeah, I feel like Yao's closer to the finishing line than Sledgen is right now, especially because Sledgen is going back and doing things like Boko Base, which. Beforehand, he had a kind of advantage on Yao for not checking these.
Yeah, it's so hard to be sure because it's going to depend entirely on where the last sword is and the order that they do things in.
Yeah, precisely. Ooh. Well, Sledgen did skip the cutscene.
That's true, he did.
There's the sword on Yao's end.
Yao's in go mode. This is now Yao's race to lose. I think unless Sledge goes back to Sansi right now, this is Gal's race. Like, literally, Sledge has to go to Sansi right now.
Sansi and then Batro have to be like his next two things he's doing.
Yeah.
If he does anything else, it's very unlikely he's going to pull us ahead.
Yeah, I'm just not sure that's what he's going to do. Yeah, I mean, dipping in Sandship was really risky, but it paid off.
Yeah, very much so.
Like, again, because Yao was able to figure out that Treasure Room had 2 pings, they were both small keys. It was not a bad risk necessarily. It's just not one a lot of players would make. But like, my guess is Yao felt like he was behind too. I'll be really curious to hear what he has to say about why he did that. But also, what Sledge says. Okay, so Sledge now knows there's Batro. Sledge going out of the way to get these 2 hints that Yao did not. So I think he was looking for some things.
Yeah, that's kind of an awkward chess. That's an awkward kind of hint to go for if you don't have the chest pinging, and that's Tantalus to Ancient Assistant as well.
Sister into Tantalus?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Was that the C chart?
Yes. I can't remember.
I think it was the C chart.
Or it might have been, yeah.
Because it wasn't Cave's Key.
No, it wasn't. Okay, C chart was not. Okay. There was Mogomits. There was. I can't remember what was insistent.
Oh, it was Mogomits for the sword.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. That's... So, yeah, all of our paths converging on that harp.
God, the hints of this game. Like I like it. I like it when the hints are just like, you know, like Coloctos. I put this place to Coloctos, and it's just a whip. I like those hints because you just know what the item is. This seed is full of not those hints. Because we've got beetle paths, we've got sword paths. It's just burning my brain. Yeah, here we're seeing YourAverageLink doing an iteration of Back in Time that involves going to Batro and then getting the text on the Batro 30. This is used to skip the Tantalus fight. It's very risky to do normally because it makes the Heart Container unobtainable. Yao is just doing this right here because he's in Go, so he knows he won't have to get the Heart Container. And this should save 90 seconds, I believe. So it's definitely worth it if you can do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy how much things switched.
So I believe that looked pretty nicely done on Yao's end. So ideally,
I do not know how to do Tantalus skip, but that, yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I don't. Even if Sledge had done Sansi first, I don't know that he would have won. Because
I think
I don't know that he would have gotten to Batro.
Yeah, I feel like that
it would be closer.
I mean, Sledgen now knows that that Triforce is on Patrol, but I think that Yao definitely going to Sandsea, and when he did, I think definitely helped him there.
Yeah, I mean, it was... I don't know that it's a play everyone would have done, but it ended up being really good. But also, just Yao going to Patrol earlier, then that's... In Remnants, people really wanted to not go to Patrol until you could get all 3 checks, or all 4 checks. I think going to Patrol earlier, even when you can't get everything, is something that can be a lot better in these settings.
I did
just
not
because
know
there's
that was the thing was done. Sorry.
The vine clip?
No, getting the... I knew the vine clip was a thing, but getting the crystals the way he did.
Yeah, so someone talked about this, that basically the only way the game can let you douse for the loose gratitude crystals and see that they're inside a house is that way. So they have to spawn a copy in.
Oh.
And so the crystals that are in houses are all spawned in on Outdoor Skyloft.
That's crazy.
Like, technically, I think there might also be one when you... I don't know if in daytime beetles shop. I doubt it does. But, yeah, and Robo Goddess Cubes work the same way. Because, like, you can douse a Goddess Cube. For the Skyview Goddess Cube douses from outside the dungeon. I mean, a sword on Bat 50 would be useful for Sledge, but obviously comes way too late.
Yeah, it's basically in sealed grounds now, so he's maybe like 5 or so minutes from finishing. Maybe less if he has a good end game.
Yeah, kind of depends on board skip and everything else, but...
Yeah. The ending of Skyward is relatively short. It's just the Horde fight, Gurm 3, and then Demise. All those fights taking maybe like 2-3 minutes. Demise taking like 1 minute if you're quick at it.
That is a slingshot on Bat 40 and junk. So... we will never know where the true Master Sword item is. This is definitely the hardest phase of this fight. You see Yao doing some crowd control, because it is very easy for the uncapped Bokos to hit you while you're going for the capped ones. They are immune to the Skyward strikes, except the from True Master Sword. And on 6 hearts, that is the most dangerous phase of this fight, I would say.
Yeah, but yeah, coming up is Horde Skip, which is where you run up a Moblin shield and skip with 1 rotation. He gets it quite nicely there, pretty comfortably. Yep.
So, you are actually going to be playing Sledge in the next round if you win your loser's bracket.
That is if Yao wins this game, and if
yes.
I win my game, it's going to be... Yes, that'd be correct. I mean, you know, I think that if I do end up making it to the next round, I think both these runners are very... both these runners have been, you know, proving themselves, at least in this set, if not throughout the tournament.
I should not assume that you're going to win this. To be fair, that is getting ahead of myself.
It's a possibility. I mean, it's a possibility that I make it. It's a possibility that Skinny makes it. It's anything can happen. But
if you win your best of 3, you would play these.
Either way, I think it's definitely like it's either one of these runners being in this round 2 is very insane.
Sledge is going into Fair and Trial hoping that it's got a sword.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's quite risky, and I mean, it might have a sword. We don't know, but it's we do know that this is very unnecessary.
Yes. But I understand why. In such a position, you would do this. Because a sword is only possibly required. And it's not... If it's a sword, it's on the reward, and Sledge does not want to get that.
Hey, he's out there though.
Yeah. So the winner of this race, I think, plays the winner of You Gave It First Gymnast.
I believe so. Yes.
That race is going. Their game 2 is going on right now. We will raid over to them and we're done with this.
Yeah, it started about an hour ago. Pretty hype matchup if you're asking me.
Yeah.
As well
Please,
as
if you go over there, don't spoil the result of this race. Obviously.
Yeah, a lot of people like to watch these after the fact. So yeah, there's probably at least one person there who plans on watching this back. So yeah. Yeah, I'll just demise away from going through to the next round. Relatively choreographed fight, and knowing Yao, I'm sure he won't have that much difficulty with this fight. Did I just jinx that? Well, hopefully not. But either way, onto the second phase. Yeah, Sledgen, unfortunately. I was using core shot strats. Or he just... No, that's a genuine strat.
No,
okay, wow.
Yao likes using the claw shots.
Again, I feel like I knew that, but that's still crazy to see. And that's it. GG's to Yao.
That is GG's to Yao.
Finishing with an official time of 1:56.58, I think, according to the bot.
Yeah. We are gonna pull them in for an interview.
Yeah, both are in the waiting room right now.
Yeah, this is on a 10-minute delay, so GG's. Yao, congrats on the win.
GG.
GG's.
I'm kind of surprised that I won that. Like, I felt very behind.
It was quite, I think, it was quite interesting to watch, actually, for a lot of it, because I think that there was at least a period in that race where you were behind. I think that both of you had like a few moments where you had a few time losses. I know both of you went. I think both of you double dipped Boko base and had like a and you both went there and then immediately found bombs afterwards. And so I think that both of you had like an interesting time with that. And I think you guys did other things as well, which made you both lose time. But I think for a lot of it, I think Sledgen, you got what was it? I can't remember what item it was. I think you got claw shots first, and you also went to Thunderhead first. So I think around like the mid game, I think Sledgen, you had a considerable lead over Yao.
Interesting.
And then I think at some point it kind of then shifted from a Sledgen lead, but then it was quite even. And then Yao, I think your decision to go to Sansi, to dip out of Sandship to go to Sansi, I think that definitely helped you, I think. And also you had that betrothed Triforce from quite a while ago.
I mean, I think Sledge skipping Sansi was probably the thing that decided the race.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But also Yao pinged Treasure Room and said, this has 2 small keys, I'm gonna gamble that I don't have to do it, and saved a fair amount of time as well.
Yeah,
what do you mean?
like
Did he not check treasure room, or did he check treasure room and then not do the small key lock checks?
He
No,
just doused it.
I saw that there were 2 pings, and then once I got the boss key... Well, actually, honestly, no matter what I got from the combo lock chest, I was leaving Sandship because I felt so far behind that the only way I could catch up was by successfully doing Tentaclus skip. So I'm like, let's go find the Go mode item somewhere else.
Okay, interesting.
The reason I was so far behind is really just the earrings. Like, I
Right.
wanted to get them because I'm like, I have Magma Mitts. Yes, Summit is barren, but there could be something in the Summit part of Boko Base. The entire time forgetting that I don't have bombs and therefore can't go there anyway. So I turned in treasures to be able to afford it. And then went in there, realized that I'm stupid, go into Boko Base and do the stuff that I can anyway, and then find bombs literally the next check. And then come back, do the summit, find out there's nothing, and then I just feel super behind. Because I'm like, there's no way you're doing this without claw shots, at least.
Yeah, I also I dipped Boko Base just for Bone Bridge and then found bombs right after as well. If that's what you meant. But I left Boko Base until like the casino. Yeah, basically the reasoning behind me not doing Sandship is because I just felt like this seed was too... what's the word? It was too normal for me to win, you know? Like, it was too... I just felt like in order to win, I would have to play aggressive. And looking back, I regret not doing Pirates. I think I should have done Pirates, but I looked back at the restream and I saw the Triforce was on Skippers, and Skippers was the area that I was just going to abandon, so either way I would have lost. So yeah, I just went elsewhere, and I prioritized Boko Base first because of the hint stones and Summit. And yeah, it just didn't work out.
Right.
What,
I mean, I think-
what was on the... I'm assuming the Triforce hint was there, but it must not have been useful.
It was useful for me. It was Triforce of Wisdom was on Betrow, and I had not dipped Betrow yet at that point. And then there was just a hint that was not useful. I don't remember what it was. So then after that, I did Betrow and did Upper Skyloft because it chained well. And I did 5 loose because, you know, maybe Bat 50 has something, and if it does, then that will give me an advantage, and then it didn't, and then I'm like, okay, well, if it's in Sansi, I've probably already lost by this point, so I'm just going to push the stuff in Farron, and then that ended up not being anything. So if this was like a weekly race, or like some casual race, I feel like this definitely could have been quite close, but I doubt that I would have won, honestly. So
See, it's what the difference in mentality when you have incomplete information. On my end, I was like, from the start, I knew this was going to be a lot shorter than the last one, and then I leave Farron, then only to immediately find out Scale was my starting item, and I could have just used that to begin with.
I died
And
in
just like
Glory at
every
the
little
start.
thing just made me more frustrated, thinking like a shorter seed means I have less room, but less wiggle room, because if I fall behind, I might not be able to catch up.
Yeah. I mean, to hear that I was somewhat ahead at some point, I will absolutely take that, because I'm not expecting that in a match like this. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was... Sorry.
Oh no, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I think it was definitely... Both of you definitely seemed pretty even at times, and it was definitely a very, very fun race to watch. So, and like both of you made a lot of plays, which made sense. It's just kind of how a lot of it was just like how the gameplay items was a big decider in it. But yeah, both of you played really well, and it was still a really good one to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I bet until I orphaned Sansi and like everyone in chat was probably like, no, don't do that. It was probably quite a cool race to watch.
Well, I'll imagine they probably didn't even know what was in there yet, because I probably wasn't there yet.
I think Sledgen, you did Sandship before Yao, so I think by the time you were leaving Sansi, I think that Yao was still finishing up Sandship, or as much Sandship as he was finishing up before we went to Sansi. So yeah, we didn't actually. I don't think we actually knew until you were like deep into Boca Base. At that point, we were like, aha, yeah, this is bad for Sledgen.
Yeah, and after this, I've got quite a losers bracket. I have to face you, Skinny.
Yeah, so it's
definitely not going to be easy.
Yeah, so I think it's yeah, I mean, losers round 2. I mean, losers in general is quite a scary place to be, because there's a lot more games in losers bracket than there are in winners bracket, and you know, you lose and losers and you're out. So it is often quite a bit scary, but either way, Yao, you are through to winners semis, where you'll be against either Jim Must A6 or Cube David. How are you feeling about that?
Pretty nervous. I mean, Jim did very well in the qualifiers. This is not the round that I would like to be facing him if he wins. Like, maybe hopefully you'd wish that happened in like winners finals, but yeah, that'll be a tough one. And if David wins, then, well, he just beat Jim. So yeah, that either way you slice it, it'll be an interesting match that I'll have to prepare well for.
Yeah, I think both those runners have been very much proving themselves throughout the tournament already, especially with Jim like dominating the qualifiers. And nice segue. I believe we're going to be raiding them because they are a little bit of the ways into their second game.
Yes, we are. I don't know if there's anything else we wanted to ask the runners before we wrap up the interview, or if there's anything else you two wanted to talk about.
I will say there is definitely a decent possibility that my bracket run might end soon, because just how tough the bracket is for me. But that's okay, because
yeah,
I'm definitely proud of, you know, my seeding number and how much work I put in to get here in the first place. So
this is definitely a very, like, one of us was going to have a very hard losers bracket path.
Yep.
So
and it's me. We got 2 British people in the top 5 seeding in losers. Have fun. So yeah. But yeah, thanks for restreaming both of these. It was.
I think you can pull it off.
Maybe. We'll see.
Well then, with that, I think we are going to raid over. Please, I said this in chat. I said it in chat over there. Do not spoil the results of this race when you go over to ZSR2. People might not want to see that. Please be respectful of them.
Well-behaved chat, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you to our 2 trackers, Vibrant Viola and Featherblade. Thanks to KitKat for commentating with me. And again, GG's and thanks to both of our runners, Sledge and Yal, and congratulations. We will see both of them in the next rounds. And with that, we're going to go right over to ZSR2. Thanks for watching, and have a good rest of your Sunday.
See ya.